if you're planning on relocating to Dubai, you have clicked on the right video because I'm going to tell you everything you need. So the real first question is how to relocate here. You can have a job offer, which is like the easiest and more logical way. You can get it in your country just by searching it on headhunter.com or LinkedIn and then come here and work. But if you come here first and then you're looking for a job, that's a bit more difficult because it will take some time, but also like easier because you can meet with people offline, which is always more effective. I also do not recommend coming here if you are a total beginner in your sphere. I mean, like in Dubai, you need to be at least 3 or 5 years of experience in order to get a very well-paid job because it's really expensive to live here. In my opinion, the minimum you have to earn is like $5,000 to $6,000 a month because living here is really expensive, guys. And for the spheres, you can work here as anyone because I've met some immigrants from Argentina who worked in a restaurant. I have some friends who work here as a photographer, as a model or influencer. And I mean, like being an influencer here is also a good thing because they promote Dubai a lot nowadays and they need some travel or lifestyle influencers to show how life is good here, get a lot of perks for free, like UGC content creation is really popular in Dubai right now. I also have a friend who works here as PR manager, so she's organizing some kind of cultural events. And I mean, like Dubai is trying its best right now to entertain people. This sphere of entertainment here really is growing every year, as well as other spheres. Like another friend of mine, a good friend, she's working in the musical industry, and she told me that Dubai will be probably one of the best locations if you work with Middle East. And yep, if you work for Middle East direction, Dubai is like the center and like the most developed and technologically developed center here. If you know Arabic, if you know Farsi and other Arabian languages, then you probably need to go to Dubai to have all those negotiations, to participate in conferences, etc. But if you work online and you have some remote work, and you can also come here and live, but how can you get a local residence permit? You can invest money here in real estate. That's what we did. We bought an apartment here. Well, it really depends on how much money you invest in Dubai in order to get this residence permit. In some cases, you need to live here for like 6 months in a year to be like a taxpayer, but in some cases you don't. So it really depends on how much money you invest here. If I remember correctly, if you invest more than $1 million, you get a golden residence card, so you don't need to live here a specific amount of time, etc. And also remember I told you that you need like $6,000 to live here, and I meant for one person, because if you come here like in a couple, in my opinion that will be a bit like you can still make it, you can still manage to live here a good life, but I mean, like, it will be very difficult for you to travel somewhere else and even to get children. And if you get children, in my opinion, you always need to double the price depending on how many children you have. Like, I know some friends, they earn good money, by the way, and they told me that with their level of comfort, they need like $20,000 or $30,000 in Dubai a month to have a good level they used to in their country of origin. And it's huge money, but if you earn that money, come to Dubai. You have all you need here for, well, a very overpriced, but let's talk about it right now. I don't know if you see, but there's like a playground behind me. That's why I want to talk about children here, because I have some friends with children and we need to talk about it. First of all, if you're planning of having a nanny here, I mean, it's like probably one of the best places for nannies to live, because they're really expensive here, because they all speak like several languages, not like only English, but also like your, I don't know, language of origin or Arabian language is also important. So yep, they cost a lot. Well, if you want to find like a kindergarten, well, that costs a lot. And I mean, like, the average price of very good, because every single school here is good, it's going to be about $2,000 or $3,000 a month. So it's like $20 a year. But you will get like a very good school with swimming pools, with excursions, with all the possible activities, with many languages learning. And I believe learning languages is really important nowadays. So there's the amount of money you need for your children here. And also mind all those activities like water parks. They're not that cheap, you know, like Ferrari Park, all those attractions that also cost like a bit more than usual in Europe or even the United States. And now let's talk about real estate. As I told you, I invested here some money, but if I regret or not, I will kind of tell you just in a year, because it's too early to judge. But here's some numbers. This sphere of real estate is growing 30% every year, but the price on the apartments grows only for 15%, which is also like a lot, but the final price on rent grows only like for 5 to 7%. And it will be growing for another 2 years until 2027, and then we never know. I predict somehow a downfall of prices. It's my personal opinion. Well, not my, but other people's opinion. Well, I declare my personal that very soon we will see another crisis here, because the amount of apartments they sell a year, there are not so many people interested in living in Dubai. There are so many apartments building every year, and this is really crazy, because wherever I walk, it's always like construction, and I don't see so many people here. So I really doubt it, and I believe like in 3 years maybe this boom will finally stop. So do I regret investing money here? I don't know, we'll see in a year. So I bought it 2 years ago, and so far I cannot sell it without losing money, because even though it grew in prices, I mean, like I will pay taxes the same amount as the price difference. So I need to wait for another year or two in order to really earn some money by reselling this. So you can see, and I will not earn a lot, maybe like 10 or 15%, which is the same amount of inflation. So I don't think it will be profitable for me, and I don't rent it yet because it's not even built yet. It will be built only like in 2027, and right now I'm actually seeing my apartment being built. It's not even the first floor is made. They only did like the underground, 6 floors underground and it's going to be like a 50 or 60 level build. I'm gonna show you. So this is the apartment they will grow, and you know what, when this happens, all those buildings behind, they will lose a good view because of those buildings that now Marina Bay is building. And of course, how much money will cost you to rent an apartment here? Well, in my opinion, if you want a really good apartment, like 1 bedroom with balcony, with views and good location, it will be from like $5,000 a month. If you work in a state organization, they probably will cover up to 50%, if not like full amount of your accommodation. I had a friend, they paid like $3,000 a month, like 2 years ago, but the company where her husband worked, they kind of covered some of the expenses. So it's also a good point of working in state organizations here instead of private organizations, or like being a real estate agent. By the way, how much money do real estate agents earn here? Well, not really a lot, guys, because as you know, there are a lot of real estate agents nowadays. And also, for example, me, I didn't ask any real estate agent to buy an apartment. We went directly to the company that builds apartments, like Damak and Jumeirah. They're probably two most famous here. So we went there directly with no real estate agents in between. Why? We bought it even before it started building 2 years ago on the real first day. And before that, we also paid like 5% interest that we are kind of interested in buying an apartment. So we kind of reserved a right to buy an apartment. That's why we pay the minimum possible amount for a unit. If you buy a ready apartment right now, you will pay the peak price. I really hope I explain it well. The weirdest angle possible for me to tell you about the locations to stay here, because I was in 5 locations. So the first location is going to be Creek, which is like a new one on the river. It has very beautiful views on the city, but from very far away. As they also build like parks here and very good hotels, but it wasn't really convenient for me. I mean, this area is mostly for the locals who work for airport, because it's like 5 minutes drive from airport. Second place will be Business Bay, which is probably my most favorite because, well, it's close to Burj Khalifa, it's close to Dubai Mall. There are some promenade, because you know, Dubai lacks a bit of promenade kind of places. It's really hard to walk here, and locals, they do not like walking. They don't have this culture of walking. And I come from Europe, where I mean, like, I walk everywhere. Business Bay in overall was my most favorite because it's Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall, some attractions here like Museum of the Future, a lot of good restaurants, etc. Next one is going to be Jumeirah, which was the first place I went to Dubai when I was a child, like 10 or even more, like 15 years ago. First time I went to Dubai was in 2007, and Jumeirah was already here with all this Burj Al Arab, Al Qasr, etc. It was really good for vacation. And Al Qasr is like an old hotel with this very unique atmosphere. It's still one of my favorites, and this is very perfect place for vacation, not for living, of course. Next place is going to be the Palm, where we also stayed long term in Tiara residence if you're interested, and I really enjoyed it here because I feel live, and it's really cool to live on the beachfront because in Business Bay you don't have beaches, of course. In Jumeirah it's only like the hotel, but in the Palm you can live in the residence and still have an access to the beach, and it's all like private beaches for each resident, and I think it's cool. I really enjoyed it. There's like a shopping mall as well, some grocery stores nearby, and overall the experience here was really good. So the Palm is actually pretty nice and great to live, in my personal opinion. Next place is going to be Marina Bay, and yep guys, this is kind of controversial. I'm now on Marina. There is like a shopping mall area, Marina, Dubai Marina. There's a promenade which I really like around those lakes and on the beach as well, but my most favorite place, I mean like top one favorite, is Blue Waters. I don't know why, but whenever I'm in Blue Waters, even though there's no like beach except for Marina, it feels so great to walk there. I really like this walking area in Blue Waters. I really like Address building here, one of the best. If you're looking for the best place to stay, I would highly recommend you Blue Waters, Address, and I mean like any address you find in Dubai are very great. They all have the best locations, the best swimming pools, and they are so greatly built. So that's my opinion. So what are the advantages of moving to Dubai? First of all, it's safety, because you can use your phone or very expensive equipment in public and it not be stolen. You won't be robbed for sure. Second, a very high level of comfort here, because probably in all condominium you see they have a swimming pool, they have a gym, and you don't need to pay for this additionally, which is very great. I mean like in my country we have to pay separately for gym and swimming pool, and here's like an option that already comes with the apartment, which is my opinion really good. Third, economy here is very great, so I don't know, nothing to say here, because when I lived in Argentina I had to change money, not officially, in order to get a good exchange rate, and also it was impossible to use bank accounts because when I put my dollars here they were inverted in the worst possible exchange rate, and I was losing money by using credit cards in Latin America, in Argentina. So I was always using cash, and because of economy it was always growing in prices, like coffee. I remember when I came first here the coffee costed like some hundreds of pesos, but now it's like some thousands of pesos, and you have to take like huge cash with you. Here it's not a problem, you can use a credit card and it's like super fine here. Okay, next reason, as I said, it's really safe here, so if you have children you may not worry about them going alone here or playing on the beach, because all these beaches are artificial, so you don't have any sharks. It really feels like those pools here you can see behind me, like this sea pool is like an underground really. So it looks so artificial, but at the same time it's really safe here for children. Is it only roses here? Of course not, guys. Let me tell you about some disadvantages you need to know. So first of all, it's, in my opinion, not like really boring here. I wouldn't say boring, but I mean like the diversity is not that much. You know what I mean? Of course, a lot of shopping malls, a lot of attractions, museums, like the Museum of the Future, this light museum. I enjoyed it a lot, but you go there because you are bored, because it's not like you don't have any parks here to walk. Maybe like they built a park area, but it's not like original one. I don't know how to explain it to you, but because it's all artificial and brand new, you don't feel this soul here. So it's not like the Dubai is soulless, but sometimes it kind of feels like this. So in my opinion, this old place is like a project of billionaires who wanted to build a Disneyland for adults. We have so many adult things here, like attraction parks, like skyscrapers, incredible pool areas, and etc. And it's all like come out of an imagination from very rich people here. So it's like a huge playground for rich people. That's my final opinion on Dubai, and I will make another video on advantages or disadvantages here. So if you have any questions, write me down below, and see you in the next videos.